I love this. It's the art of thrifting. It is hard to master, honestly. Sometimes you find really cool pieces. Other times you'll search the store only to leave with nothing in hand. Our next guest is offering up some of her best tips for a successful thrift shop while also being mindful of waste. So here with me this morning is Kelly Drennan, founder of Fashion Takes Action. Great to have you back.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk thrifting. What do we consider before we even step foot in the store?
Well, first of all, you need to actually look in your closet and see, do I already own something like along the lines of what I'm thinking? Like, do I really need stuff? Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do, right? Because we overbuy. Then you need to really carve out the time to thrift, because I think all too many times people rush and they have maybe only 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they don't find anything. You really need to dedicate a couple of hours to going through the stores and looking through the racks to actually find those gems. That's the thrill of the find. So number one is make sure you have the time.
Make sure you have the time.
Yes.
So now we are in the store. What do you think we need to look for and look at first?
Right, so things are priced a bit differently in thrift stores, right? Sometimes you find like the really cheap stuff is priced the same as like more expensive things. So those are the gems, those are the scores that you find. And really it's looking at the tags. It's reading the labels to see what the fabric is. Is it silk? Is it linen? Is it wool? Because sometimes those things are priced just the same as polyester, right? And then you might even really score and find something brand new with the tag still on it that's never even been worn.
Yeah, so this takes time. You have to make sure that you are dedicating the minutes and the hours to be able to go through. It's almost like you're looking at the ingredient list on a box at the grocery store. You need to know what's in it.
Exactly.
So a lot of times thrift stores, we know this, we go in and there's no way to try stuff on. And the last thing I want to do is dedicate all this time and find something only to get it home and realize that it doesn't even work for me.
Exactly.
So what do you do in this situation?
Right, so I found a hack where I will wear leggings and a tight-fitted shirt, and then I will just throw things on over top, and they have mirrors, right? So you can still try it on over your clothes. If it's a bit snug, you've got something underneath, right? But that's the best way, and I've never failed. Anytime I've gone without wearing that, you bulky sweater or jeans or something, it's impossible. You can't really try something on.
No, you can't hold it up to yourself and have any idea how it's going to look.
Exactly.
What's the reaction from people when you do this, when you're like all ready to geared up to go?
Oh, I've had, people say, that's such a great idea. Next time I come, I'm gonna wear that.
Changing the world.
Totally.
One person at a time. Okay, so let's say you do find an item at a thrift store that you really like, but it's looking a little worn. Maybe it has a stain on it or it's a pair of shoes. What do you do in this situation to really pump new life into it?
Well, I think, learning how to get rid of stains is a great way to get rid of a stain. But I think if it has, if you're kind of worried about germs or bacteria, someone else wore it, wash it, right? Just because it's in a thrift store, it doesn't actually mean that it was washed before it was actually donated. They prefer that, but it's not always the case. So wash it. If it has any kind of odor, if you're still worried about bacteria or germs, stick it in the sunlight.
Sunlight.
30 minutes in the sun will get rid of everything. Mildew, musty smell, smoke smell, any of that stuff.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and if it's shoes, of course, you can always take out the insoles, put in new insoles, give them a wash or a wipe, and you're good to go. You can even stick those in the sun too, and it can get rid of the odor. One
of the best tips I ever got as a new mom was to lay baby onesies in the sunlight, like just outside in the sun, because it takes out the unmentionable stains that you often get with new babies as you lay it in the sun. It's a great tip. We obviously want to be conscious of how much we're consuming. The first R is reduce.
Yes.
So what do you say when it comes to thrift shopping?
Yeah, first of all, thrifting is great for the environment, right? Because you're buying something that is otherwise destined for the landfill. You're not buying something new, so that's great. But we really need to be careful about overbuying when we're thrifting. Just because the prices are low and it seems like a really great deal, we're programmed to kind of, find deals, and we get really excited and we get that sort of dopamine hit from it. So it's just really important to be more mindful as you're thrifting. Yes, it's a good deal, but do I really need it? You still have to have that kind of check in, right? See if you really need it. Do you really feel an emotional attachment to the garment? If not, maybe you don't need it this time.
Kelly Drennan, it's always great to have you in studio. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.